Hello everyone, it's nice to see you again. I know that during the creation of your profile on AuPairWorld, sometimes you don't know exactly which types of information you should write about yourself, your hobbies, and also which types of photos are better to upload. So don't worry, because I'm sure that this video will be useful for you. Also because I've asked some questions to my last host family about the information that they want to get from an au pair profile, and also which photos are better and which are not. So let's see together their answer. So the first question that I asked to my host family is, what is at the beginning the first thing that you notice in the profile of an au pair? They answered that the first thing that they notice and appreciate the most are the photos. More specifically, nice photos. This means no photos with a filter, but photos that just represent yourself, for example, with your friends, with your family, and also with the kids. And then they say that the second thing that they notice is for them, that for example is important, is if you have experiences with the kids. This doesn't mean not only babysitter, but also, for example, if you went in a summer camp, or for example you just participated to some activities with children, for example training, dance, sports, something like that. About this topic, I remember that also I didn't know what to write during the creation of my profile, because also, for example, I had some experiences with kids during summer camps, but for example they were not so young kids, they were like 7-8 years old. So I knew, okay, what I write now on my profile. And my advice for you is just if you don't have some experiences with kids, just don't worry. I just think that in that part of the profile, just write why you want to be an au pair, why you want to work with kids, why you like them, so that also if you don't have experiences with them, just you will show to your host family that you really like kids and why you want to do this experience. The second question is, it is better a short or a long description in the profile? My host family answered that for them it is not important if there is a short or a long text. The most important things are the information. This means that the information should be very detailed. In fact, they told me that they don't appreciate, for example, when in the profile, for example, in the part of the hobbies, there is, for example, which are your hobbies, and you just write one phrase where you said, I like playing volleyball, and stop, that's it. Or, for example, they don't appreciate a lot when there is a very long text that describes your hobbies. So they just say that important is like a text, but the information has to be detailed. For example, you said, okay, my hobby is I like playing volleyball, so just add some information. For example, how many times in the week you practice it, from when you practice it, why you like playing volleyball, with whom, and something like that, so that they can notice that you are interested in getting some information about you, and just don't, for example, write one sentence, because in that case they will just get the impression, okay, this person has created the profile very fast, or when they just see a very long text, sometimes can also be boring reading all the text. So their advice is not important the length, but just detail information. The other question is, the description in the profile are better in English or in German, in the case you will go to be au pair in Germany. And for my host family, it is very important that the information are written in the original language, so in this case German, because they say that in this way they can see that you can handle the language also if you have a basic level of it, because they say also if you have, for example, the basic levels of the A1, A2, but you write in German, you can show that you want to improve the language, you want to learn it. And they say that they really appreciate a lot about this aspect, and I really also agree with them. Because I remember that when we did the first video call, my German speaking level was not so high. And I remember that at a certain point I told to them, I'm so sorry if I cannot speak very well German. And they say, don't worry, you are here for this reason, but we appreciate that you are trying to speak in German and not from the beginning speaking in English. So this is also my recommendation. If you have also a basic level, don't write in English, write and try to write in German. For example, if you are not feeling comfortable with the language and you don't know how to write in German, maybe you can just write some phrases in English and write some phrases in German, so that you can show to them that you really want to learn the language. Then another question is, do you have some recommendations for au pair about which types of photos are better to upload in their profile? They answer, and this is connected to the second question, that what they appreciate is that you upload photos about yourself. For example, with friends, during holidays, with your family, during your free time when you are doing sport, and don't, for example, photos about yourself, for example, a very selfie with a filter, or when you are to the disco with friends. And I really agree with them, just upload photos that represent yourself in everyday life. And then the last question that I asked to them was, during the video call, which are the most important questions to ask? And they told me that it is for them very important that the au pair arrived at the video call prepared. This doesn't mean that you have to study, it's not an exam. They just mean that during the video call it's very important that the au pair talk. Even though, for example, you don't speak very well the language, as happened, for example, to me, doesn't care. Important is that you talk a lot, you show to your host family that you are interested in knowing them better during the first video call. And what I can suggest, and they also told to me later when I was with them, is the fact that they appreciate a lot that I ask to them a lot of questions. For example, what their job, what they do during the week, during the weekend, their hobbies, the hobbies of my host kid, and also about the host kid, the recommendation that I want to give and that they also appreciate a lot is to ask also some question to your host kids. For example, hey, how was the school today? What did you do? Which are your hobbies? Which is your favorite game? Something like that. So that you can also talk not only with the family, but get to know your host kids better. And really, they appreciate it a lot because they told me that you show to them that you want to get information also from them, and not only that they want to get information from you. So, because, when you don't ask information, sometimes can happen because it's the first video call, but always they told to me, you have to talk. It's not a job interview. It's like a moment where you know each other better, so really don't worry. And also, if you want some tips about which questions you can ask to the host family, I will just leave here the link on our Instagram page where you can find a post about some tips of which questions you can ask to your future host family. So these are the 5 questions that I asked to my host family about the video call and the profile. I really hope that they would have been useful for you. And if you want also to have an idea how to create your profile on AuPairWorld, follow us on our TikTok page, where you can find a video about how to create your profile on AuPairWorld. So I really thank you to have watched this video, and see you next time. Bye!